Welcome back. Deep sea cables, they help keep the world connected, transporting data and phone calls, things like that. But they could also do something else, detect earthquakes. Davo here to explain. Hey.
I mean, when you hear about it, it makes sense. No, first of all, I had no idea, Russell, that we had this many cables connecting continents around the world. So that was something that I learned initially. There's an undersea cable that connects Los Angeles to Valparaiso, Chile, believe it or not. And it's a fiber optic cable, and it's transmitted between the two continents. So, of course, as data's flying back and forth, and it's not only these two continents, but all around the world, some 750,000 miles of fiber optic cable on the seafloor. The problem, now, how does this relate to earthquakes? So the problem with earthquakes is all of our sensors and most of our detection equipment is on land.
Right.
Okay? But a lot of these earthquakes happen over the open waters, which is why the tsunami warnings are issued and stuff like that. So they found, literally by accident, that these underwater fiber optic cables can detect when there's an earthquake. And it makes sense. They're emitting all of this data, and then this big seismic wave moves through the environment, and then it warps the undersea cable a bit. Okay, so when it warps the undersea cable a bit, it disturbs the polarization of light that's transmitted across the cables. And obviously maybe a data outage for a second or whatever. So they noticed this with there's actually a Google cable called Curie. And they noticed that there was a 7.1 earthquake, and that's what happened with the cable. It got warped a bit, and they were able to detect it that way. So, Russell, if you think about it, these are all draped across the bottom of the oceans. Okay, they're not in tubes or anything like that. They're just cables. So if there's any blip in the ocean floor, it warps the cable and it detects it. What do you think?
I don't even know what to think about this. There's a lot going on here, and you would think an earthquake would damage the cable, but I guess not, huh?
I mean, I guess it probably kind of flows because it's in the water. It kind of flows with maybe the way that the land is moving. But those little blips, now they can say they can't tell where the epicenter of an earthquake is. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, the cable I was talking about between Los Angeles and Valparaiso. By the way, Chile is a very active area for earthquakes off the coast. If they were to detect that with the cable and get some kind of a warning out, maybe 30 seconds to a minute before the actual sensors on land detected it, maybe that makes a difference in lives. So it's kind of like our need to get the fastest speeds and getting our pictures to our friends and FaceTiming and stuff, maybe that helps out in detecting earthquakes.
So
go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry. I think you said it, but I want to make certain I'm clear. These would be detecting earthquakes that are out in the ocean. When you say it goes from Los Angeles, you wouldn't be detecting the San Andreas Fault earthquake.
No, but on land, there are so many seismic sensors on the San Andreas Fault. You've got that covered. The problem is those deep sea ocean earthquakes, which can happen and then don't get detected for just a... Yeah, exactly. That can generate tsunamis. Maybe you get an extra minute or two warning. I don't know. It's just something that, hey, the technology's out there. Let's figure out a way to utilize it to help in natural disaster mitigation. Kind of a cool story.
Very cool. It's very cool. Interesting. All right. Thanks, man. Talk later.